So today I am showing you two different formulas. Okay, the first one is called the distance formula. Now, when we do that, we actually are going to make a triangle. So what I want to show you before I show you that picture, that's why I've just enlarged that, is if I said to you, make point A on your Cartesian plane, -4 and -3, and point B, I want you to make it 4 and 6. Do you agree with me, or you should agree with me, always agree with me, that this is your x-axis, these are your x-axis, you know that, hey, and these are your y-axis, right? So let's call this -4 and this 4, so let's call it x with the 1 slightly below the x, and this one we're going to call it x2 because it was the x of B, which is the second one. This one we're going to call y1, and this one we're going to call y2. Okay, so do you understand that? So that's x, where's my thingy, that's x and that's y. This is the first one, so it's x1, y1, and this one is x2, y2. Okay, it's important you understand that before I move down. Right, so now let me move this one back over here. Okay, now, right, now what I want you to look at on this is, over here is the A, and can you see it says, I'll just enlarge it so you can see it. There we go. It says x1, y1 because that's your A, okay, and this one's x1, y2. Okay, now to find the distance between these 2 points, we have to connect them with a straight line. Okay, so what we do is we do this, we do a vertical distance and a horizontal distance. Okay, the difference between the x coordinates will give us, so the difference between the x coordinate here and the x coordinate here will give us the length of the one side of the right-handed triangle, and the difference of the y and the y here will give us the lengths of the other side. You'll probably find x and x will give us that one, and y will give us that one. Okay, so if we subtract them, which basically means, what are we looking at? We're actually looking at Pythagoras, because we're making a right-handed triangle, and D, this here, is your hypotenuse. Now you guys are really good at Pythagoras, so this is what the formula is. So let me shrink this bit back a bit, or let me go up. Okay, now don't freak out because it's not so bad. So D is equal to the square root of x to the power of 2, take x to the power of 1 squared. So if we go back, so x to the power of 2, take x to the power of 1. So remember all the way up here, we had x to the power of 2. Sorry, I'm trying to get my pointy. X to the power of 2. Take away x to the power of 1. So this one, it would be 4, take -4. And then it will be y to the power of 2, so 6, take -3. Okay? And then that gets squared, just like you would do, and then so x to the power of 2, x to the power of 1, y to the power of 2, y to the power of 1 squared, and we work it out just how we did it for the Pythagoras. So look here, question will say, find the distance between the following Cartesian coordinates, giving your answers in exact simplest form. Right, so let's move up so we can do this together. Okay, now always have your formula handy, okay? So let's write it out. So we're going to go D is equal to, right, now before you start, this is x1 and this is x2, make it 2 there, this is y1 and this is y2. Do you agree with me? Okay, so I didn't do it very nicely, but you can see what I mean. So now we have to take, and this, the formula tells us over here, x to the power of 2, take x to the power of 1 and square it. Okay, so x to the power of 2 is this one, which is 2. So we're going to go 2, we'll put it in brackets, 2, take x to the power of 1 is this one, it's negative 4. So we're going to take negative 4. Oh, what happens when you've got a take and a take next to each other? A negative and a negative, it becomes a positive. So let's just change that right now so that we know. Okay, then we're going to plus, let's do another bracket, y to the power of 2, which is this one here, which is negative 2. So we're going to go negative 2, take, and y to the power of 1 is 6. Okay, right, so let's look underneath. Right, 2 plus 4 gives us 6. Oh, and both of those have to be squared. So 6 squared plus negative 2 take 6 gives me negative 8 squared. Okay, so 6 times 6 gives me 36. Then negative 8 times negative 8 would give me a positive 64. Right. Now if we look at that, 36 and 64 give you 100. Let's just move this up a little bit. Gives you 100. And what do we have to do with our 100? We have to do the square root of it. What is 100, the square root of 100? It's 10. So therefore, D is equal to 10. And that's our final answer. So really, this, this looks complicated, but it's not really. Just follow the rules. So it's x2 take x1, y2 take, square them, and you're just doing your normal Pythagoras. You can really do this. Right, I want to show you one more, which is finding the midpoint, which is very similar, but it's different. Okay, so let me go to the next page. Right, midpoint. So, how do I make this one bigger? Okay, so what's happening here is you've got point A there and you've got point B there, and they want to know where the middle is going to be. Okay, so that's basically what they're going to do. So if you had to have a look at a question, and what your formula there is, now it's different. X to the power of 1, where's my pointy? X to the power of 1 plus x to the power of 2, y to the power of 1 plus y to the power of 2. Because what you're doing is you're adding them and dividing them by however many. So that's how you normally work out the mid. If you did the average of something, you would add them all together and divide by how many you put in. Well, you're putting in 2, so you're going to divide by 2. So look here. Divided by 2, divided by 2. So let's move up and do one. So the question says, find the coordinates of the midpoint between negative 4 and 6, negative 2 and 2. So let's start off like I said in the beginning. Negative 4 and 6. So negative 4 is your x1 and 2 is your x2. 6 is y1, 1, and that is y2. Okay, so we have to do something like this. So we have to say m, which is actually going to be x and y, is equal to, now guys, you've got to set this out like I'm doing it, see? So it's equal to, right, x to the power of 1 is negative 4 plus x to the power of 2 is plus 2 divided by 2. Oh no, let me just rub this out so we don't have to do that. Okay, well, that rubbed out nicely. Okay, and then it's a comma. Alright, y to the power of 1 was 6, y plus y to the power of 2 was negative 2, so that makes that a take 2, divided by 2. Okay, and then we can close the bracket. We'll just move this up. Okay, so, where's my pen? So, negative 4 plus 2 will give you, and you know that answer, negative 2 divided by 2, and 6 take 2 will give you 4 divided by 2. So now we go on to the next line. We say, okay, well, what is negative 2 divided by 2? Well, 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. oh sorry, I wanted to write there. 2 by 2 gives you a 1. A negative and a positive give you a negative. Okay, so that'll be negative 1. And 4 divided by 2 will give you 2. So your coordinates will be negative 1 and 2. And that's your answer. That will find your midpoint. Pretty cool, hey? Okay, so just to close off, these are, I don't know why it's skew. So the distance d between any two coordinate points, so you can see it better, x to the power of 1. Well, it's not really the power. It's got like a little 1 sort of at the bottom. y1, x2, y2 is. And your midpoint is that. You're going to need to make sure that you know those and you can work with them. I had anything on page? No, I don't have anything.